Good morning, this is Archetypal Trader. Today I wanted to look through the Bitcoin chart. On my screen at the moment I've got Bitcoin weekly chart on Bitstamp. I've got a fib retracement drawn on the weekly from the 2018 bottom up until the 2021 top at 65k. And as we can see, we've had this correction down below the 38.2 for 3 weeks now. And we've had these two inside bars come in on Bitcoin, and we've gone through both of those lows intra-week as it stands at the moment. And yeah, I'll just be waiting to see if we break these inside bars moving into the weekly close, which is a little way away as of yet, still 5 days away. So what I wanted to do in this video, I just wanted to draw back to the COVID crash. I can do this when I just do the replay on TradingView here, and I can go back to the COVID crash and just sort of have a look at volume and see what had happened and what had taken place leading up to that crash. I'll even go all the way to that 13k top back in June last year. So what I've done, there's been this run up in the intra bear market, I guess you could say, here on Bitcoin, and that was our local top there. It did last for a while. I'm just going to bring in a 88.6 fib retracement of this range that we were in at that point in time. So also, I'll just zoom in, I'll get rid of RSI and volume for now. But this 88.6 level was down at 43k. And we did make this bull fractal all the way down here. And you can see this impulse, we never really got another bull fractal on this impulse up. So I usually like to box in these bull fractals as a location. And of course it's always easier in hindsight to bring this to people's attention and draw it, though some may say it was like a black swan event, and then some may just say it's TA, right? It's just a bull fractal test. So yeah, within what happened in that time frame, price did eventually come down and retest this bull fractal down here, and of course even I, going through the chop of 2019 and 2020, it still surprises me that these technical events can take place so perfectly. And yeah, I'll just stop it there. So yeah, you can see we did wick down into that level. Maybe it was a black swan, maybe it was COVID, maybe it was a lot of things, though. You can see that we did come back and we tested this bull fractal here. It wasn't for long, maybe 1 or 2 days. It doesn't show that in the weekly, it's just a wick down, but we did test this level, and that was an 88.6 fib retracement, which is pretty epic. So moving away from that point in time in the chart, am I alluding to that could happen again? It could happen again. I don't know if it will, though. I guess it's I just think it's healthy just to see how far Bitcoin can really run, and it just doesn't really come back and test levels in a sense. So there's this bull fractal all the way back here in August 2020, and yeah, as you can see, we've had a 56% retracement. It's intra-week, we haven't broken inside bars yet, so we're still just seeing where this market's really going to find support, if it's going to find support. But the last bull fractal of this run up is on the 20th. It's on the 17th of August 2020, and I've had this bull fractal here as a test zone. I was hoping that Bitcoin would have found some support and bounced and finally given us a 38.2 test, though. Yeah, you can see that We've broken below the 38.2, which is a bearish sell signal. It's a trend reversal indicator, as far as I'm concerned. Some people like to use Glassnode and on-chain metrics, which is fine, but I don't think that really takes away the reality that we have broken this level, and that's a very good indication that the trend has changed. And then there's this bull fractal back here. So that's at 1388, and then there's this bull fractal which I did draw on. I'll just draw the top of the wick there. It's at 12.3. So yeah, if I go into my fib retracements, I can go to 88.6. That's pretty hectic, 10k, and then there's bull fractal tests at 13, 14k. So yeah, those are some potential targets if we really do get washed out very quickly in the next couple of months. It's a possibility. I'm not into forecasts. I don't predict the future. I don't know what's happening in the future. All what I do is try to trade with probability, and probability is it's a rabbit hole in itself to think in probability, and I think a lot of people in the crypto market will think in ideology instead of probability. So anyway, in saying all of that, there's other levels that we may find support, like the 61.8 is sitting at 26,760. I think if we do find some support in this area, I'd be very interested in seeing a 61.8 test back up to the top, and we could test this. I'll get rid of this bull fractal box. We could retest this bear fractal box up the top here, and yeah, I think there'll probably be some strong sell orders if we can manage to continue to have a bounce and have a rally back up to these areas, but that remains to be seen. And yeah, also when you look at the COVID dump, the volume's not really there as compared to as we see the reaction of this correction. Though this is Bitstamp, I do have a index chart that I can quickly just bring up on the weekly. So I've just got 6 exchanges plus altogether on TradingView here divided by 6 to just create your own little index chart, which is quite handy just to see a more equal spread volume, so to speak, across exchanges. And you can see the volume is a lot bigger than just Bitstamp, because Bitstamp's only one exchange. So yeah, you can really see, let's just zoom in here a bit. You can really see the difference within the volume structures here. Like we had 2.27 million sell, and then we followed up with 2 million, a $2 million candle in buys after COVID, and we had 2.2 million sell, and we only have 1 million after this correction. So looks pretty bearish from where we're sitting now. To finish off with this video, I just wanted to bring in, obviously this is TradingView. I was just going to switch over and show Optima and just show we are heading into, we've already headed into Mercury Retrograde. And you can see this previous level of Mercury Retrograde, we had an 81% appreciation in value in this zone. It started at the end of January this year. And with this tool or this analysis, I'll just put on my Gann planetary lines, and these are like mirror lines. So when you're pretty much just squaring the position of Mercury to a price. So at the moment, Bitcoin's moving at $100 per degree or day. So these are $100 per day in velocity. These lines at $50 and $100. So that puts a pretty trippy chart on the screen, though I'll just get rid of those. But just quickly, the technique is to, I'll bring these back up in a sec. These are to put potential price targets for the next Mercury Retrograde. So I've put those all in purple here. I'll get rid of the again planetary lines again. And I will also get rid of that. So this is the daily, and you can see we've already come down and tested these levels, and there's lower levels down here as well. This is the daily chart, so there's not all that much information. I'll just bring up the 4 hour that I've prepared. Right, so yeah, here are all these levels again. And I've got a time fib retracement on the Mercury retrograde. So if I quickly go into that tool, show dates. So that's going to show the dates that it started. So yeah, we started on the 30th of May, and it's gonna finish on the 23rd of June this year. And you can see these different fib time retracement tool. So at the moment we're coming in at the 50% level. We've quite successfully hit all of these levels in Mercury retrograde now. It's just a matter of we're going to hold these previous lows that we've experienced in this correction on the 19th of May. We're going to hold these levels, or if we're going to test down lower. So yeah, there's these lower targets down here. These lower targets are Mercury Gann planetary lines at $50 per degree, and they're down at $19, $16. So they're down quite low. And then if we bounce back up, those other areas of interest for Bitcoin, like the 61.8, there's sort of some confluence within the last Mercury retrograde Gann planetary lines around this $52,000, $55,000 level. So it's going to be quite interesting to keep an eye on that and see how the price action is going to progress through June. If we're going to continue this correction back down, continue the correction down, or we're going to get a relief rally back up to some better areas, perhaps to be more risk adverse and take more profit. So I'm going to leave the video there. This is Archetypal Trader. I hope you enjoyed the content. Talk to you soon.